Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all doing well on this Tuesday. In today's episode of my very own podcast, I will be bringing you yet more truths to the table, as I always do on this channel. I never hold back from what I think. I'm a passionate, emotional fan who will never hold back from what I truly think. That's why people tune into me, because they love my pure honesty. And so get ready. And I want to ask you guys, that is the topic of the video, as you can see from the title. When will our owner, if he does at all, decide to start listening to fans' concerns rather than shutting us down and branding us every name under the sun? I'll be answering it in my own way throughout the video. I'm going to go through the time, kind of a bit of an overview of how this has gone on these past two and a half years of chaos that I say it has been on the field whilst he's been at the helm. As you know, the toxicity has hit breaking point once again. We're back where we were last season. Everybody can see it, and unfortunately, this is just the start of the toxicity, because I think a lot of fans we've been very patient as fans. Let's be honest, yeah. But I think every fan base, the reason we're going around in this vicious cycle is because every fan base has a breaking point, and we've already hit that breaking point, and we're only in November. That pretty much sums it up, doesn't it? But it was the same last season. The same toxicity came back. The apathy, it was there as well. It's just constantly over and over again, because every single time we trust what the owners say, what the owner's going to do, and what he says on his platform, and every single time we're let down. And now it's got to a point where fans just aren't buying the nonsense anymore. We aren't buying the PR. We aren't buying all these words with no action backed up with it. We were all very gullible, very vulnerable, and at the start we had to take his word for it. But as time's gone on, that trust has just gone lower and lower and lower. That's how I see it, and that's how I feel. I'm not speaking for everybody out there, but that's how I feel at the moment. And the trust and the hope of this owner turning things around on the field. Look, I'm not really interested off the field. We're football fans. On the field, that matters the most. Yeah. So I don't care about the off the field stuff that he wants to go into, building stuff, doing this, doing that. Cool, fine. We're football fans. We want to see our club succeed first and foremost. And unfortunately, that has come secondary in this ownership. Pretty clear that is secondary to him. But yes, look, I've got to start the show without actually wanting to start the podcast, guys. I've just got so much to say in this episode, so apologies for that. But before we do get into it properly, even though I've kind of started saying a few things that I should have done afterwards before we obviously do my intros and do everything. But yeah, obviously before we do get into it in more detail, please make sure you smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Big up, we have reached 1,150 subscribers as well. So big up to you all for helping me there. Let's keep pushing and get your comments in down below. I want to know what you think. Have you got much faith in this owner to turn things around? Do you think this owner is going to start listening to fans? Is he going to be forced to having to listen to fans' concerns and treat them seriously? Because, like I said, the toxicity is growing again. And unfortunately, I see it getting more and more uglier here in terms of what we're seeing. Because, like I said, this is all, I think last couple of weeks, I think has been, we just got more and more toxic, hasn't it, really? And I think on Saturday, the away match scenes that we haven't seen for a very long time as well, which, as fans, it's just well and truly boiled over now. That's it. But yeah, I do appreciate. I'd love to hear what you think down below in the comment section. These what's great about these podcasts. I bring topics to the table, and I like you guys who watch this to get involved and let me know what you think. And it just sparks great conversation, doesn't it? Of course. So yes, I really, really appreciate all the love and support. I always say it every time, but that's why I say it, because I truly mean it. So big up to you all, and thank you so much for continuing to support the channel and continuing to tune in, comment, and all that good stuff, showing the love. Really, really means a lot to me. But look, obviously, we're going to get straight into it then now. So, look, I really did think it was a good time to bring this topic, in terms of, bring this topic debate to the table with everything that's going on at the moment with the club, the absolute mess that's happening. And it's in regards to the owner, of course, who continuously shuts down fans who have legitimate concerns on how the club has been run. Even if you're respectful, even if you just say things, the owner doesn't like that. Doesn't like being confronted by anything or being criticised by anything he's done. He just wants to keep hiding in terms of, just hiding from the fact that really he knows what some fans are saying are true, but he's too big of an ego, too stubborn, and too detached from reality to even take our opinions on board. Unless it's something really, really good and positive about, of course, he'll get on board then and start, being fully, he's fine with compliments. That fills his ego even more, of course. But unfortunately, a lot of criticism has come his way because of what we've been seeing on the field decisions and how the club is being run as well. It kind of goes hand in hand, doesn't it? So, yes, I think what I'm going to say is, look, I've made it clear from kind of the get-go really that in the 2.5 years he's been here, the off-the-field decisions have been completely faultless. Everything around, putting money into the club, all that good stuff, and you know what I mean, building new stuff, building fans, building a few more facilities amongst the ground as well, and things like that, and everything in terms of everything he's done off the field has been great. I can't fault it, but ultimately, as we've gone along, we've seen how bad the football decisions have been, and as football fans, that's what our priority is. The owner might not see this as a priority, but our priority is the football. And our priority is success. Our priority is actually enjoying watching us play and actually seeing a direction, a vision, and actually seeing everybody aligned, people in the club that know what they're doing, and we're all in all in the same direction. Unfortunately, with this ownership, it has been the complete opposite to that. People don't like to. Some people are still failing to, or not wanting to admit that still, by the way. But that is what's happened. You can't hide from what has happened here. It's pretty obvious the way we're going around in circles constantly and going nowhere other than down, that there is something seriously wrong. And it goes to the club hierarchy and it goes to the decisions that's been made. I'm going to get into that in a bit more detail a bit later on in the video. But I think if we look at the football decisions, every single decision that he himself, because the owner has to take responsibility because he is at the head of it all, and his staff that he's brought in with him, has been a complete and utter shambles. It's been a mess. Every single decision has been completely and utterly wrong. Now, obviously, at the start, yes, people were saying, you know what I mean? At the start of when he came in, by the way, NAGLE, he was finding his feet, okay, sure. I gave him the benefit of the doubt to start with because he was finding his feet because he obviously had just arrived. But we've gone along in this kind of new era, what was supposed to be a new era of the club. And unfortunately, what we've seen is pure incompetence and naivety from this owner. But what is completely undefendable as well is keeping with the likes of Edwards, still to this day, by the way, still running the day-to-day operation of this football club. What merit has he got to be running the football club, by the way? What's he done in football? Tell me. Apart from nothing. So why is he in control? Why is he running this club down to the ground? And we're expected to sit back and let it happen. No, we ain't staying silent anymore. I'm sorry. And you've got DTS thinking he's some blooming who used to be the media. By the way, DTS Dave Farrell Sykes used to be part of the media team. Now all of a sudden he's been plunged up into the parapet of making football decisions. What merit has he got to make football decisions apart from nothing? Once again, why? And he thinks he's look at me. I'm special now because Kevin Nagles promoted me. Cool. So undeserved having a promotion. To be honest with you, you can have promotions in your field of work, fine. But you ain't any football expert or any person that's ever been in football in terms of making football decisions for a football club. Let's have it right. So again, shambles. The people he's continuing to employ. And we saw what happened with Cartwright as well, bringing him in to start with. Didn't know much about Edwards, to be fair, but Cartwright, we knew what he'd done to Stoke and things like that. But Edward, but yeah, so yeah, but you know what I mean. So Cartwright, yeah, I couldn't understand why he brought him in the first place and why he kept him for so long. But this is what's happened with everything: managers, staff just keeps him on for too long before taking the necessary action that's needed. That's been a repeated pattern. And I think for me, you know, it's pretty clear that these people running the club right now don't have a clue and shouldn't be anywhere near a football club making. They shouldn't be in these roles at football clubs. Absolutely not. They're business people, not football people. Edwards is. I don't think DTS is, but he's just been part of the media team and he's somehow got himself up to the top tier of things. Lovely, but he's buzzing into. Unfortunately, the club's going downhill and nobody in this club is taking responsibility for anything, and it's not acceptable. So, look, for me, like I said, hiring and sacking manager left, right, and centre, Edwards, Cartwright combination there. 6th permanent manager in 2.5 years. I mean, I'm sorry, that's just utter chaos and a disgrace. You know something's wrong when you're going through so many managers in such a short period of time. It's just ridiculous. That's the way this club's being run, the football decisions that are being made, and that's why no wonder fans' patience within the fan base at our club is completely just running thin again, because we've just seen the same things happen over and over again. I mean, still to this day, like I said, no football people in the club making those big crucial decisions that you need in your football club to succeed. How on earth are we supposed to progress when this is the case? How? I know Nagel sees as a club he can profit from when he sells the club whenever he does. And that's his words, not mine, by the way, in terms of profit from the club. You know, he said it in the ATT meeting, the Altogether Town meeting, where they bring up issues around the club and there's topics of conversation with the fans advisory board and everything. He said that he plans to sell the club for profit. That's his words, not mine. So before people start saying, where have you got that from? That's what the owner said. So there we are. It's pretty clear what his intentions are of why he came here in the first place. It's been a vicious cycle at this club of the same mistakes repeating itself. And because of the pure stubbornness of Nagel, thinking he's always the right one, he won't change. His big ego is clear. He will not change. The constant lies that we've had throughout this 2.5 years, the false promises, and the gaslighting towards us fans has been another big bugbear of mine, let me tell you. I think if you look at how many times we've said, the first kind of lie that comes into my recent memory is the season card prices. Last summer, not this summer, but last summer, we were told, yes, we will keep the prices as they are, but you can expect steady rises from here on in. That was last summer, right? Not this summer, just gone last summer. And then we got to this summer, and again, the biggest lie of them all, kind of saying it's going to be a small increase or a gradual increase of the prices, which is fair. We weren't really seeing much on the pitch to justify a big increase anywhere. To be fair, a gradual increase because of what we'd seen, but a gradual increase. The season tickets had been cheap for ages now. We accepted that, but not to the extent that he put them up. And I think ultimately he's just kind of trying to turn us into this corporate club. We're a working class town. You know what I mean? We are a working class. We're not corporate. We're not in Sacramento now, where he based himself at his other club that he's got in America. We're not in Sacramento. We're working class. So why are we turning everything corporate? So people can criticize Dino all they want, by the way, about the fact that he didn't put much money into the club, blah blah blah. Well, at least he put the fans first before anybody else. Yeah, he kept prices affordable for everybody that could be able to go. This owner doesn't have any thought behind that. He don't care. He don't give a stuff. Pretty sure he showed that this summer just gone with the ridiculous high price increases that he just thought that it would be a good idea to do. So at least Dino actually had some. Actually, he was a fan first and foremost, and he actually made sure that fans were able to go. Of course, Dino, you know what I mean, might have increased the prices, but he wouldn't have done what Nagle's done in terms of increasing the prices at such a big rate like that and lied to us. I don't think he'd lied to us either. So look, that's pretty clear, isn't it? To be honest with you. And you know what I mean? All these words that he said. I mean, you only have to go back to the summer, guys, where he was talking about how on his tweets that he put out, and when they get a few of them up on screen, it's all words. It doesn't mean anything. All this about this was after last season's absolute disaster of a season once again. All I can say, he said, no words I can say will make you all feel better about this season. All I can say is this: you will have my time, my passion, and my money this off season, as we will work day and night to get this right. Well, we're seeing the money, of course. Yeah, he's put money in, but we're not seeing anything else. Unfortunately, we're not seeing anything that shows us that he wants to get it right. In all my years, yeah, okay, big ego, about being in sports, cool. He talked about a disease within the club. He was going to eradicate that in the off season. Amongst other things, it starts with leadership and culture. Well, I don't see any leadership in this club right now, so I'm not sure what he hasn't acted on that as a culture, or the culture's rotten and it's continuing to get worse. So that's on you. So yeah, and then look, I mean, he's all about all starts and ends with me. He was taking all the full blame. Cool, but unfortunately, we're seeing the same patterns happen again. Talked about us fans deserving better. Well, so much better. Well, again, you've shown complete. I don't know what the word I'm looking for. You've shown complete disrespect towards the fan base. To be honest with you, and you continue to do that. And then he was talking about having actions. We will see actions befitting all the words that he said previously about what I've just said in the post. Time to go to work. So, well, this is all noise. It's all well and good, but this owner is completely and utterly just tone deaf to what's going on here, and he isn't prepared to change how the club's being run. I mean, if you have any legitimate concerns about how the club is being run, well, you're just going to get shut down by this owner, who will label you negative, nasty, mean-spirited, vicious, all these words, all because you're pointing out concerns about our club. It's our club. The fact that this club's ours. Not the owners, not the players, not the managers. Ours, the fans. The fans stay, yeah? The fans stay. We'll support the club whether we're attending games or not. We stay. Owners come and go, and all players, managers, all them come and go. So we have every right to speak up about these issues, and we have every right to express them without getting shut down by this owner who chooses to do that constantly. They argue on social media with fans comes across as petty, unprofessional, and totally uncalled for, in my view. You know, something just doesn't sit right with me in that aspect in terms of arguing with fans. A billionaire owner arguing with fans that go to games. So what are we doing here? Just grow up. So yeah, I mean, it's just utterly ridiculous, really, to me. I've never liked that side of him either. You know, and look where we are now. I mean, we sat here, you know, today with our club being run so badly. And if you want to speak up about it against this, how this club's being run, then you get criticised for it. You know, a club that feels like it has been taken away from us by this owner, turned into a corporate organisation rather than a working class club. That's where our roots come from. Yeah, but unfortunately, this owner has turned it into a corporate club. That's all he cares about: money, money, money. And people can say, well, he's chucked money, he's losing money anyway every week, whatever. Fine. But what he knows, now he's got the stadium, he can build stuff, he can renovate the whole place. He will profit from selling this club once he's finished. That's what he knows. So, sorry, a very clever businessman, but completely and utterly clueless on the football side of things. And, you know, we're in a complete mess on the field once again. Toxicity, apathy is well and truly back within the fan base. It's pretty clear. And that's only going to get worse and worse. It's like last season repeating itself. And this could have all been avoided. Languishing in League One with an owner who is completely detached from reality. And yeah, that's how it is. I mean, and unfortunately, there's nobody in the club that is willing to get this club back on track. I mean, to be fair, it's because there's the people he's asked to run the day-to-day operations whilst he's over in America, because that's where he obviously resides, aren't up to it. They aren't good enough. But this owner doesn't want to accept that. Just wants to keep doing the same thing over and over again, expecting the fans just to keep quiet. Well, we ain't staying quiet, unfortunately. We will not be silent any longer. We will say our truth. We will say what we think. So, yeah, I mean, and that kind of leads me on to the question, do I ever think he will listen to the fans? Well, evidence suggests that he won't, because he's done absolutely, he doesn't listen to us, does he? You know, anyone that has concerns, he just shuts down everyone. So we can only go off what we've seen since he's come in, and we've seen the same thing happen over and over again. You know, arguing with fans on social media, you know what I mean, shutting them down, calling them negative and stuff like that. Cool. If you want to call it negative, sorry. Clearly, that's just an easy label to give somebody for just expressing how they feel about how this club's been run. So for me, I don't really, until I start seeing, and I've always stuck by this, by the way, until I start seeing action and actually see positive steps taken from this owner, I ain't going to have any faith or confidence in him, in anybody, in anything. Because unfortunately, that's where we're at. The trust is gone. No, a lot of people now are not taking what he's saying. They don't trust him. I've not trusted him for a long time. I've seen what this guy's like. I've seen how this has panned out. I was one of the first people to say, well, you know what? I don't even trust what he has to say, this guy, anymore. Comes out with so much nonsense and PR rubbish. All words, no action. And I think at the start, completely taken aback with what he had to say in that introductory, interview when he first took hold of the club. I thought we were winning. I thought everything were gonna be so good for us. We were gonna, you know what I mean? It's been the complete opposite. It's been a disaster. We're football fans. It's been a disaster under this ownership. Off the field, absolutely fine. On the field, we're football fans. We want to see the on the field stuff first, and then the off the field stuff follow. On the field, it's been an absolute disgrace. So yeah, no, I don't think he's going to listen to the fans, unfortunately, and we're just going to keep going around this vicious cycle. The only hope I do have is if he's forced to kind of start listening to fans' concerns because it gets that bad at the club. And I think that's the only hope I'm clinging on to at the moment. Like I said, all well and good saying all these words and saying all this stuff, but just not enough action anymore. People have checked out from what he has to say. People aren't interested in all this nonsense. Until we start seeing action, we've got nothing. We can't trust what he says. But yeah, I mean, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I mean, again, I'm just saying what I feel as a fan, and hopefully you appreciate the honesty and the transparency that I show you guys on this channel. Every single video I put out there, I just say what I feel, and I don't hold back. It's just pure, honest, and pure words from the heart. That's what I will say. That's what I bring to this channel, and I think that's why a lot of people out there love what I do, because of just how I am. I don't hide behind what I feel, and I say how it is. I call out things for what it is. So yeah, but yeah, appreciate all you watching. If you have stayed right till the end, plenty more videos coming out this week. Very, very busy week. Tomorrow morning I will be doing the match reaction to our game against Mansfield, which is of course tonight in the Virtue Trophy. I know a lot of people aren't really interested. I'll probably do quite a quick video about that, to be honest with you, because it's just a trophy that a lot of people don't really care about, do they? I mean, it's the disadvantages of being in League One, having to play a trophy like this. It's pointless. No benefit to a club like ours whatsoever, to be honest with you. But anyway, I will do a reaction video to that tomorrow morning, so stay tuned for that. The League One predictions are back tomorrow live at 6 o'clock UK time. So come and tune in for that one. Of course, joining me, Alfie from Owen, the Luton Town, is joining me once again for that one. So hopefully you guys can join me for that one as well. And the match preview to our game this weekend against Plymouth on Friday will be out before the end of the week as well. So yeah, big up to you all for tuning in. Thanks so much for watching. Like I said, drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you do, and let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Your thoughts on it. What do you think? Do you think this owner will start listening to fans eventually, or do you think it'll just be the same thing happening over and over again, and he'll continue to do what he's doing right now, and that's shutting down fans' concerns about how things are going? Anyway, take care. See you all very soon, and as always, Grant out. See you soon, guys.